In this video, we are going to talk about some of the latest Nintendo news from the past couple days. These include some confusion among Nintendo fans about the delay for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, an indie Nintendo Direct that will probably happen this month based on some speculation on what happened last year, E3 being cancelled, Sega Saturn games coming to the Nintendo Switch as well, and a lot more cool topics. If you guys enjoy this video, leave a like, it helps the video out when you do, and if you want to follow me on Twitter and help me reach my goal of 900 followers, you can follow me at Roborob93. Without further delay, let's talk about some Nintendo stuff. So The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 was delayed. Nintendo put out a full video explaining that it will be coming to our Nintendo Switches in 2023 of spring. Now as to why this happened, we can only speculate on that. But the delay has caused some confusion among Nintendo Switch fans, or more specifically confusion brought on by switchforce, another Nintendo channel who made a April Fool's joke video that said Breath of the Wild 2 was undelayed. Now this has caused some confusion in my own comment section due to the Breath of the Wild video that I did on why it was delayed being suggested by that video. So naturally some of his subscribers or any subscribers that we both share would see that video and be a little bit confused. I have the comments to prove it. But I just wanted to say that that was an April Fool's joke on his channel, and Breath of the Wild 2 is unfortunately still delayed. Or I guess fortunately if they are working more on it and adding more to it and refining it more. So I guess it is a good thing. And moving on, it seems that we have some Sega Saturn games coming to the Nintendo Switch, which is kind of surprising, but not in the way you think it is, because I know some people are probably going to think that it's for the Nintendo Switch Online Service app. So for those who may have missed this in 2021, City Connection made a Sega Saturn emulator called Zebra Engine, and it's a pretty good one according to Nintendo Life. Now last year, multiple Sega Saturn games came to the Nintendo Switch, including Cotton 2, Cotton Boomerang, and Guardian Force. All of these games use the new Sega Saturn emulator Zebra Engine. With all of these games hitting the Nintendo Switch, a Sega Saturn emulator fully working on the Nintendo Switch, it's easy to see that Nintendo would bring more of these games to the Nintendo Switch via third-party companies, just like the games I've mentioned. Fast forward to 2022, and that is exactly what has happened. City Connection is back again with S Tribute X Taito and has 5 games coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now according to City Connection's tweet, the first game that they will be releasing on the 28th of this month is S Tribute X Taito, and following that release we'll get 4 more titles as well, which probably means that all 5 games are not dropping all at once. Now we don't know what games are coming after this one either. If you go to their official website, there are 4 slots that just say coming soon. Now this is pretty interesting that a company has made an emulator for the Nintendo Switch and was able to bring these games to the Switch. Perhaps more games other than Nintendo systems could do the same thing, and we could have more classic games join the Nintendo Switch that are not part of that Nintendo Switch Online service. Which, speaking of the Nintendo Switch Online service, we do have some new titles for the Nintendo Switch Virtual Console. Now these are Super Nintendo and Nintendo games, so you won't need the expansion pack to play these games, so base model subscription service players are going to be happy. Well, if you like these games, that is, which they are pretty good games. The games that are coming are Dig Dug, which is a fantastic game, Earthworm Jim 2, which is a fantastic game as well, and Mappyland. Now I've never played Mappyland, but it does sound not like a good game. Yeah, it sounds really bad in my opinion. I could be wrong, I've never played it, so maybe I'll try it out today, but tell me in the comment section if you've played Mappyland and tell me if it's good or not. And moving on, it seems that E3 is cancelled. This all started with Twitter user Will J. Powers, who got an email saying that E3 is officially cancelled this year. It's not going to be digital, it's not going to be physical, it's just not going to exist this year. Which, considering with everything that's happening in the world, it's very understandable, but this really isn't too surprising. First, it was gonna be non-physical, it was just gonna be digital only. So that was really the first sign that something was gonna happen to E3 this year. With everything going on in the world, it was always a possibility. As with everything now, anything can get delayed or it can get cancelled or so on. Now luckily, or I guess perhaps unluckily, Summerfest Games is returning in June. So that was not cancelled. It's still happening, it's still gonna be showing off a ton of games and different things and hopefully not a lot of ads. Now this year it's gonna be presented by Jeff Kingley, and this is what his tweet said. Summer Game Fest will return this June with slates of events. We'll be producing another kickoff live show with announcements, news, and first looks. Much more to share in the coming weeks, along with some very cool new elements for 2022. Now this is cool and all, but you have to ask the question, and it's a very good question. Is this going to be good? And by good, I mean, is this gonna have a ton of ads that interrupt the show? Ads that a lot of us just don't care about. I mean, last time during the Game Awards, I'm pretty sure it was the Game Awards, there were so many ads and stuff that gamers just don't care about. I mean, at one point we were watching a full-on documentary, and nothing against those people in that video, I'm sure some people found it interesting, but I just wanted to see the games on the Game Award. I came to the Game Awards to see games and see their awards. That's why it's called the Game Awards. I mean, gamers want games, not ads and history lessons. I mean, isn't that why some people play games? To get away from school? Overall, I just hope this event doesn't have a whole bunch of ads and just sticks to the games and the gameplay and the CGI trailers and all that good stuff. Although hopefully not too many CGI trailers, because Xbox really needs to show some gameplay on those games. But now that that's out of the way, my question is to the companies, are you guys gonna show those games at the Summerfest instead of E3? And is that the very cool elements that Jeff Kingley is speaking of? We know that Nintendo does their own thing, so the June Nintendo Direct is going to happen whether E3 or Summerfest is there or not. Sony does their own thing as well now, and Microsoft does go to E3, but I'm starting to wonder if they'll end up doing their own thing as well. Because like I said, Xbox really needs to show some gameplay on all of these companies they're acquiring and the games that they're already revealed. Even if it's just like a small 10-second clip, I'll take anything at this point. And not what Hellblade 2 showed. Don't get me wrong, it looked good, but that's not the kind of gameplay we want to see. The kind of gameplay I want to see is what they show for like Horizon Zero Dawn or what Nintendo did with Breath of the Wild. I mean, even Breath of the Wild has better gameplay shown than Hellblade 2. Rant over. But anyways, this leaves a lot of the other companies like Ubisoft, EA, CD Projekt Red, Bungie, and so on, though I think Bungie might just do their stuff with Sony since Sony does own Bungie. Same with BioWare and Xbox. But who knows, I guess we'll see. And the last topic for today is on the new Nintendo Direct, or more specifically, the Indie Nintendo Direct, which could be coming soon. Now keep in mind that this isn't based on any news, leaks, rumors, or anything on that, or at least things that I haven't come across yet. It's purely based on what happened last year, and last year on the 14th of April, we did get an Indie Nintendo Direct. Now, as I said before in plenty of my videos, typically you can look at what Nintendo does on past dates, like the previous year, and apply them to the following year. Sometimes it is about a couple days later or earlier, or a couple weeks earlier or later, but typically it is around the same time every year. Now, before the Indie Nintendo Direct last year, we had a Smash Direct. Super Smash Bros. Is completely done, so we don't have to worry about that. Before that, we had a Pokemon Direct, which had Legends and the Pokemon remakes in it. And before that, we had a Nintendo Direct. We just had a Pokemon Nintendo Direct with the Gen 9 games, and before that, we did have a Nintendo Direct. So far, it is a repeat of last year. So you can probably bet your bottom dollar that it will probably happen again. We will probably get an Indie Nintendo Direct sometime in the mid of April, and then have that June Nintendo Direct. I mean, who knows? Maybe Nintendo will announce this before this video even comes out. Drop a comment in the comment section if Nintendo ended up doing that, if you are in the future. Overall, guys, and if not, on your way out, make sure you subscribe for more videos and also have that notification bell on. And if you want to support the channel in any other way, there is my Patreon and Twitter account in the pinned comment if you're interested in those. Oh, and also have this donut if you're still sticking around for me rambling. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.